Hi, everyone. Welcome to the lecture on memory construction errors. This is such a fascinating topic that it amazes me every time I go to prep for these lessons on memory construction errors. I find new and greater information about how our memories just are not reliable. And it makes me crazy, but it is true. So, we're going to look at a couple of different concepts that having to do with memory construction errors, but this is going to be a relatively short lecture, and then we'll get more into it in class. So, Elizabeth Loftus is considered one of the leading experts on memory, particularly eyewitness testimony and the non reliability of that type of testimony. So, she has studied memory for a number of decades now, and she's been a very controversial figure. So, in class tomorrow, we're going to watch one of her TED Talks, and you're going to see how she has been so controversial. But let's take some of the concepts that she's studied and put into practice. So, let's take this event of a car accident. Now, when you think about a car accident, it happens so fast that your mind certainly takes in the events of the accident. But if it can recall what actually happened, it's not always as accurate as what actually happened. So, on the right here, this accident was asked the question about how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other. And so you can see that brings about, that word smash brings about an idea that the cars were going really fast. So when the person is asked that question, it's considered a leading question because of the word smashed. They are more likely to say that the cars were going faster, 60, 70 miles an hour, as opposed to the depiction of the real car accident on the left here. The cars were probably only going 25 or 35 miles an hour. This is an example of what we call the misinformation effect, incorporating misleading information into one's memory of an event. Some other things that contribute to memory construction errors are source amnesia and deja vu. Source amnesia is one of those concepts that has two phrases that can mean the same thing. So it's also called source misattribution. Source amnesia is attributing the wrong source, an event we have experienced, heard about, read about, or imagined as the cause of our memory, as the cause of whatever you're trying to remember. So in the car accident scenario, you might say that you were distracted by a pedestrian when in reality that pedestrian wasn't even in the street. They were on the sidewalk. So you misattributed or you had source amnesia for the cause of your accident. Deja vu is another example of how we can misconstruct our memories. And we all know that deja vu is that eerie sense that you experienced before. And this is caused by cues in your current environment or situation that sort of unconsciously trigger retrieval of an earlier experience. These could be true or they may not be true. That's why it is contributed to misrepresentation of memories or misconstruction of memories. So we try very hard to discern what are true memories and what are false memories. So there's been lots of memory studies, and Elizabeth Loftus is one of those who have completed these studies, several studies over her career. We'll look at her next class. But we talk a lot about repressed or constructed memories of abuse. This was really a very hot topic in the 80s and 90s. And there have been some areas of agreement that people have come up with, and they're listed here. For example, sexual abuse happens. Those memories of getting abused as a child, those can be quite true. Those events have certainly happened. Injustice happens. Forgetting happens. Recovered memories are almost always incomplete. So those recovered memories of abuse that adults remember from when they were children are very much incomplete memories, primarily because memories before 3 years old are very unreliable. Hypnotic memories, as we looked at, not reliable. And then, of course, memories can be emotionally upsetting. And as we'll learn in the next unit on emotion, motivation, and emotion, that your emotions connected to those memories can sort of make those memories even more inaccurate. So later on in the week, we're going to talk about how to improve our memory. So if you want to do well on a test, or you want to remember all those stories that your grandfather told you over the years, we'll give you some ways in which to do that. Until next time, I'll see you in class.